Hey everybody, it's Dan with Pain For You. The topic for this one is going to be, how come nobody else has TMS and just me, right? So, before I get into that, let's take a look out here. It's so cool. I get to see squirrel and deer, and I've seen some fox out here. Really a cool environment. So take a couple of deep breaths, get yourself centered. Fill your lungs with oxygen. And as you exhale, feel the stress leave your body. Know that you're safe. You're safe in the moment. Look around. There's no danger. You're all right. All right. So, how come nobody else has TMS but me? Lucky old me. How come I won the lottery of pain and symptoms? So my first response is that is an easy conclusion to come to because we are suffering so much and we look around at our immediate friends. And why do some of these people not have symptoms? I don't know. Not everybody does. It's kind of weird. But I will tell you that you're not quite alone. In the United States alone, the estimates are close to 100 million people that have chronic pain, which puts it at about a third of the US population, which is really staggering. And globally, the numbers are approximately the same. About a third of people have some type of chronic illness, chronic symptoms, chronic pain going on. So please do not believe that you're 1 out of 100, that, won the lottery of bad luck and symptoms. In my personal life, I have a family. My mom, my brother, my sister, my brother-in-law, my nephew, all these folks around me, and if I were to kind of analyze it, I'd say, well, how come me? Like even my ex-wife, how come she never had this, right? But as I look around and I say, okay, let me evaluate each one of them. My mom has had fibromyalgia symptoms for the past 25 years. She's 82 now. She won't embrace this. She won't learn about it. She won't go into this because in her words, exact words, I'd rather have the physical pain than open up the can of worms of my emotional pain throughout my life. Now my brother, he's had TMS through most of his adult life, back pain. He now has rheumatoid arthritis, which is absolutely lifestyle related, what he puts in his body, but it's also a combination of his lifestyle plus his stressful living. My sister's had stomach issues for most of her adult life. She's been scoped this way and that way. Can't find anything wrong with her digestive system, but as we know, and as I've talked about many times, when you're under massive stress, what gets suppressed? Your immune system and, in her case, digestive system. Things don't work right. She has pains. She has IBS. She's got all sorts of problems. She too will not embrace this TMS mind-body, emotionally induced, stress-induced reason for her symptoms for two reasons. One, she thinks, well, that's only Danny because that applies to back pain, but it doesn't apply to me. I've got something different, right? Sound familiar? But also in her case, she doesn't feel she can do anything about the stress. She's got a 15-year-old autistic boy, and her life is stress. And so she doesn't think she can do about it. But what's interesting is her husband, who also has a 15-year-old autistic son, has had back pain for probably at least 15, maybe 20 years. He too will not embrace this stuff, despite the fact that this is what I do, this is what I teach. But he won't embrace it. Not sure why. I've never really pushed hard. I brought it up, but he's just, I don't know. And so even my nephew, the autistic boy's brother, had some significant pain, neck pain, shoulder pain. Fortunately, he was able to get through it. He was a little bit more open to this, but as his life circumstances changed, his pain kind of left. So, That's just my immediate family. My dad also had back pain episodes, major back spasms throughout his adult life. So when we come to the conclusion that nobody else has this, very few people that have ongoing symptoms and pains actually recognize it as TMS. They are not open to it. And in many cases, you don't hear about it because they have simply learned to live with and accept that they hurt. And so tough shit, I hurt. That's the way it is. And so, if you're feeling alone, like you're the only one, I can guarantee you that you just don't hear about it. Because so many people just learn to live with their symptoms. And yeah, maybe two-thirds of the population don't actually have these ongoing things. You know, some people say, well, how come more women get it than men? I think there's a certain expectation for men to just kind of suck it up. Hey, dude, live with it. And I know I've spoken to men, you know, in their 40s, 50s, 60s that have had pain most of their adult lives, and they just suck it up. Hey, it's what it is, you know, and they don't pursue the mind-body approach. They don't even pursue a medical approach. They're saying, I got back pain, screw it, whatever. I just deal with it, right? And so, to the lady who feels like you're the only one, I will tell you, at least in the United States, and it's probably very consistent globally, that about a third of the people have something going on. And even if people don't have back pain or the type of pain you've got, they probably have something going on. And look, some people, it doesn't manifest in pain or other symptoms, but it manifests in anxiety and depression, right? And panic disorders. So everybody's different. Everybody's got something, you know? And it's not a matter of who gets TMS, right? What makes us the lucky special ones who gets TMS? The real question is who doesn't get it. And I would venture to say at some point during our lives, almost everybody gets something. Sometimes it's short-lived, sometimes it's lifetime, sometimes it's chronic, sometimes people find this Dr. Sarno TMS world, the mind-body reason for pains, and they get better. Sometimes they find this work, don't figure it out, and then they just kind of learn to live with it, which is what I am desperately trying to solve. You know, one of my missions here, my true mission, is to be the end of pain management. And I'm not going to do it at the institutional level for the entire world, but one person at a time. For you, I want what I'm teaching you here to be the end of pain management for you. Because if I can do it, you can do it. And so many people are getting better. If you go to the Pain For You group, there's a search bar. Search for success stories. And over time, we're seeing more and more people telling me about their successes. Sometimes they're big successes, sometimes they're little victories. But nonetheless, people are more hopeful. People's fear is dropping. And as that happens, the symptoms start to melt away. And somebody just told me the other day, the most recent success story I posted, is when she embraced the mindset of not caring about the symptoms and the pain melted away. Those were her words. Melted away. And that is exactly what can happen when you get the core concepts that I teach nailed down. If you want to understand those core concepts, look for the video. It's called Ending TMS, the Foundational and Daily Work. And I map it all out there about as plain and simple as I can. So, why do only you get TMS? Lots more people do than you realize. So you're not alone. And honestly, focusing on why you are the unlucky one really keeps you in a victim mode. And I say that lovingly, but I felt that way as well. And comparison is a sure way to find unhappiness. Don't worry about the rest of the world. Just focus on you. Yes, you were lucky enough to get this TMS thing. TMS is the best news ever, and what you will realize once you get through it is that TMS is the best news ever. I learned so much about myself, so much about life, so much about my emotions, so much about stress, and a better way to navigate the world. You know, if I didn't come across this work, I would absolutely be a different person. And despite the years of agony, suffering with the chronic back pain and sciatica, and spending a lot of time on the floor, I'm a better person for it. And now, I've got zero fear about my body falling apart on me, right? And you can too. So please don't convince yourself that you're just the unlucky one whose body's falling apart. Because if you truly understand TMS and accept that you've got it, you know it's not your body. It's created by the brain. And that also means then if the brain can create it, by learning some things and teaching the brain some new tricks, like teaching a dog new tricks, you can end your symptoms and then lead a much better life moving forward. So with that, guys and gals, it's freezing out here. The rain is dripping. My hand is cold. So I'm going to take another couple of deep breaths to wrap up the video. Take a look at the woods. Get yourself centered. Breathe in the confidence. Breathe out the stress and the fear. Know that you're already well. Connect with your body. Connect with your breath. Your body and your breath is always in the present. Don't get stuck time traveling to the horrible future or the wicked past that you've had. You're going to be okay. So, love you guys and gals. I will talk to you in the next video. We'll see you later. Love you.